Hello again, brothers and sister brothers. Been a while. I thought I'd let you know where I've been and what the future of this channel looks like. So pull up a chair and watch some footage of some unreleased builds, which will very likely never be made into their own tour videos. Really, I'm just showing them off to prove that I have in fact been building quite a bit, if only to make you more upset that I haven't made any videos. So first, where the heck have I been? Well, not that I don't love teasing upcoming videos that I never make, but life in the last year and a half has been nuts. My day job kept me really busy. Then I got engaged, and all my spare time went into planning a wedding. And then what free time I had on top of that went into working on some secret sim settlement stuff that I can't talk about. Sorry, I'm teasing you again. And then most of that time went instead into taking on freelance projects on the side in order to offset wedding costs. And if you don't know this, weddings are expensive. Don't get married, ever. I never didn't. I even stopped being a big scary moderator on CordlessVII's Discord server because, to be quite honest, it took a lot of time and the people there are just really Anyway, then I got married and was like, yay! Now I have free time! Now that I don't have to plan a wedding and work on freelance stuff on top of it in my day job. I was wrong. My job also went to hell. I burned out really hard and my health tanked. I ended up out of work just a few weeks before the entire world went on lockdown. And it turns out, even without a day job, I still somehow don't have much time or bandwidth to make videos. But I still am building stuff here and there, and if you mess with some settlements and keep an eye on it in the future especially, you can still enjoy the stuff I make even if I don't make videos walking you through them. So, more tours? Maybe? They may happen, but if you've been subscribed for a while, you know to believe it only when you see it in your own feed. And somewhere in the midst of all this madness, I decided that the name of this channel needs to change. Donald Strong...
What?
...is dead.
Dead? No!
I mean, he's not here anymore. I mean, he got impeached and is no longer legally allowed to run this channel. I don't make the rules, that's just how the law works, am I right? Attorney General Barr, help me out here? If you've been following me for a while...
Strong follow you always.
Maybe you know this story. Back when Fallout 4 was just a wee newborn, before Far Harbor or the Nuka World DLC came out, when mods for the game were brand new, building in the game looked very different. We were pushing boundaries in the game that seem laughable today. In much the same way, you might try to explain to kids these days what a Walkman is or a VCR is and how cool they were, and the moral of this story is that I'm old. Anyhow, the concrete and warehouse building sets were new, and I wanted to see if I could use them and the cool elevators that came with them to build a skyscraper. 10 or 11 stories later, I had a big ol' rectangle that mostly satisfied me. That's what she said. But something was missing. It needed a purpose and a story. The story takes place back in mid-2016. And while I was working on this, I saw some jackass slither down an escalator, open his hole up, and just let an amazing series of disgusting racist turds slide right out, right onto the floor in front of everyone. But I saw him, and I thought, wow, he's perfect! I mean, what is Fallout if not a cautionary tale of insane megalomaniacs and capitalistic demons ruining everything that's good? Hell, that's even how the game gets categorized by some stores. So I thinks to myself, maybe that's the same truth challenge narcissist who built this tower before the war. But since the game takes place hundreds of years later, who better to own this little monolith than the Fallout companion who best embodies the same level of intellect?
Make the Commonwealth green again!
So now I have my angle for decorating this place, but the closer I get to finishing it, the more I realize something's missing. The shape of the building is just too boring. It's just a rectangle. But somebody, who I will not name, but later married, suggested that the namesake of this building really does tend to overcompensate. So to spice things up, I gave this architectural phallus its penultimate form. It's only completed when I literally added a junk cannon and some firework launchers to the the top of it. I added a wall outside that was barely even started by the time the bombs dropped, because who's ever going to finish that, even though the horrendous sign on it hurt my soul to put together. Gross. I considered this, at the time, a good build with an amusing backstory. And I wanted to share what I'd made with the world. This is where Donald Strong was born. I don't regret choosing that name, but half the people it's based on deeply regrettable, because it's a little too easy to see the line between our real-world circumstances becoming indistinguishable from the very wasteland that I like building fantastical crap in. It's a hard persona to lean into, even satirically. And moreover, the satire that I originally intended didn't often really even connect. People would think that by virtue of me picking this joke of a name, that I was somehow co-signing or condoning an absolute shit show. So anyway, the point of all of this is this channel is still strong themed, because I mean, just look, he's a classically trained thespian. Rex Goodman personally taught him about the metaphorical wonders of milk. But the other half of my new persona is a bit more in line with my personality. Has far more relevant things to say about life and building stuff, and because I just enjoy me some good Parks and Recreation. Meet Strong Swanson. So from here on out, when, or if, I put out new tour videos, you can be pretty damn sure they'll feature pretty dark-haired women, breakfast food, and hidden caches of bacon everywhere. Just don't expect regular videos. That way, you'll be pleasantly surprised when one does drop. And if you miss me, leave a comment down under the doobly-doo. Just be aware that if you make political ones, they ain't likely to stay. I don't have time to make even tour videos, and ain't nobody got time to deal with salty edgelords toiling in the comment fields. This video is about me, damn it, and megalomaniacs. So act accordingly and tell me how great I am, okay? Alright. Lastly, some folks have asked if I have a Patreon, and while I've toyed with the idea, I'm not about to overpromise and underdeliver while you make me feel guilty with your really generous donations. I build stuff in Fallout for fun, and sometimes, well, a lot of times lately, for really cool mods, and I'm notoriously late even with those builds because, I mean, what's the point of this? If it's just another job that doesn't pay the bills, and another thing to cross off my to-do list, it stops being a hobby for me, and the fun disappears. That's why I will never likely have a Patreon, and why I have always been against even monetizing this channel. I make nothing off of it. But if you do enjoy these dumb videos, and you're not otherwise facing pandemic-related ruin, and you just want to throw a few caps my way to buy me a Milk of Human Kindness, I've got a Ko-fi account set up. I'll put a link to it in the description. Most likely, whatever tips you put in that tip jar will just get recycled into this stupid hobby anyway, for things such as channel art, like the awesome portraits I commissioned by Cynical Bounce. Or even licensing sweet music tracks for videos that I'm totally, definitely, maybe absolutely going to make at some point in the future, only 2 years late. Thank you, beautiful mutants, for watching my video, and I will voice over at you again soon, at some point, in some future, of some timeline that hopefully, unlike this one, is not the worst. Take care.